Hey dreamers! So I'm here in my car about to leave work, so you'll see a lot of cars going behind me. But I wanted to check in, and I didn't want to drive because it's been raining off and on. Like, it's super sunny right now, but it was raining for like 15 minutes really hard. So just in case any of that happens whenever I'm going home, wanted to be safe and responsible and not have all of you freak out if that were to happen. So that's why the light is really bad here. I apologize for that. But I actually wrote down things to share with you today so that I wasn't rambly like I was yesterday. But again, holy wow, there are so today I was listing out the names so that I could start pairing you guys up. I wrote down 57 names, you guys. That's not including myself. There's a couple that I'm still not sure if they wanted a partner or not. And then there's a whole other 30 people that have said they're attending but didn't necessarily want a buddy. If you do want a buddy, comment on the pin post or in the group or in the event, and I'll make sure that you get one. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you want to do it solo for whatever reason that you feel led to right now. And that's totally an option too. So while one of my tips today is get a buddy, also just know that this is really meant to serve you. This is meant to be a time to help you commit to the Lord and your business to the Lord and really lift your hands in that way. And so it may not serve you to have a check-in buddy, or you may not be sure how much time you'll actually be able to participate with stuff going on in the group and things like that. So just know you are free to pray however you want to. If you want to pray with us and don't want to go through the book, that's great too. My heart is that you pray, and that's all I ask. So if that's all 350 people, or if that's just the the 50, 60 that join us, doesn't even matter. I'm so excited about it either way. So I wanted to give you some tips to set you up for success over the next 30 days, because 30 days is a long time. I know I keep saying that, but I think I'm the kind of person that can commit to anything really strongly for 2 weeks, and after that it's really hard. So I'm also giving these tips to myself and asking you all to be my accountability buddy as I go through this. So just know at that 2-week mark, whenever you start to see things lag or things are late, feel free to nudge me and say, Kate, get on the ball. We know this is your 2-week thing. Let's get it together, because we need you, and you need Jesus just like we do. So just know that's totally fine. Okay, so first tip for success is set aside time. I even want you to start doing that now. We've still got a couple of days before we actually kick off, I guess today and tomorrow, before we actually kick off, but I want you to go ahead and go in your calendar and block off time to do this. I know some of you have crazy things like kids at home and other people or jobs like I do and clients, and you just don't know what your schedule is. Do your darndest to, hey everyone, Shirley and Amy, and somebody else is there that I don't see. Do your darndest to set aside enough time. So in my experience, going through the actual prayer in the book and the verses and stuff can take 10-15 minutes. Though I usually sit with it for 30 and will journal and stuff with that afterwards. And so that's what I like to do. So I usually give myself a half hour. So block out a half hour of your schedule, whatever that looks like. So if you need to start getting up early, if you need to stay up a half hour later, give yourself that space, okay? Go ahead and start scheduling that so that you feel like you have the room to do it and you give yourself permission to do it. Because sometimes if you don't schedule it, it's not real, and this needs to be a real commitment for you. So if you want to see good results. Okay, second thing, get a buddy. Really important. Like I said, I'm going to be pairing up with somebody because I desperately need an accountability buddy, because again, once we get to that 2-week mark, I expect to drop off, and my goal is for as many of you to stick with this as possible. I would love to see all 57 of you and whoever else is there to actually make it to the finish line, to pray all 30 days, or at least stay committed in that time. And so that's why I think this buddy thing is gonna be important. I think We're meant to do community together. We're meant to support each other and uplift one another. That's one thing that I've really wanted this group to be about, and so I'm really excited about actually getting to create those connections in such a unique way as prayer, because you know, when you pray together, I feel like your hearts really get bound together in a new way. And so I want you to utilize this buddy system. If you haven't had a buddy yet or haven't signed up for a buddy, please comment on the pinned post or in the event. I really, really want you to have a buddy. I know that some of you are going at your own pace, just kind of flowing, and that's totally cool too. But if you feel at all like 30 days is going to be hard for you, do that. Like, get a buddy. It's totally okay. It doesn't mean you suck at prayer. It just, like, well, I suck at prayer. It doesn't mean that you're bad at any of that. It just means that it's a great way to connect, and in a new way with God too, through the Holy Spirit, through somebody else. Me too, Shirley. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so here's another little challenge for you. So one was like, you know, schedule it in your calendar now. Get a buddy is kind of like built into the experience for as many people as possibly want to and can. This is your next thing that I want you to do before Thursday when we start. And that is get very specific and clear about how you would love God to show up in this. What are those big things that you would love to see God do? And I want you to write down 2 things that you are going to commit to praying for, whether that's in your life or your business. And no matter what the topic is that we're going through, that's the other thing that you're going to commit to praying for in that like half hour that you do. Because here's the thing, just like with everything else in life, we see what we track, right? And we track what's important. And even with goals, and just like with prayer, it helps us, like, maybe God is answering stuff around you all the time, but you forgot about it, or you didn't recognize that as the movement of God, like everything is. And so I want you to get really specific and clear about 2 things that you want to see happen. And so whether the answer comes in the way that you expect or desire or not, you'll at least, I think that if you get specific and clear and pray about those things, that you will see an answer, whether that's, you know, yes, no, or not yet, all of that. So I want you to do that. Write down the 2 things that you really want to experience in this. Next thing, pray big and pray expectantly. I think a lot of times I pray with a heart of fear and worry, and I think that's okay, because you need to turn over your fear and worry to God. But when I pray for things, I'm like half praying for them and half expecting them not to happen. So great, Rebecca. I know, timing's perfect for me too. Couldn't be more perfect. And I'm hearing that a lot. That's something I'm hearing a lot. So I know that this is going to be a great experience for a lot of people because of that. So just like that, because it is such a unique time for so many people, I can't even tell you how many, there's been at least like 10 people who have said, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for something like this. Oh my gosh, this is the perfect time for me in my business. This is the perfect time for me to do this. Oh, I've been looking for accountability. Oh, I've been struggling with prayer. There's so many people who are in that same place with you. And so what I want you to do is to pray big and pray expectantly. It's going to be great, but you have to be open to that. And so don't pray thinking that God won't show up. Pray knowing God will show up. If you look in the Old Testament and even the New Testament, when they prayed for people to be raised from the dead and healed from their sicknesses, they didn't pray it half-heartedly. They fully believed, and it fully happened. And that stuff still happens. Like, I have met people, part of my job here at where I work at a missions organization was to travel to different places and meet people who have experienced God in a unique way through the organization. And over, like healing, like real, true, like crazy healing has been part of the experience. So like, don't put limits on God. Don't put God in a box for this 30 days. Unleash what you feel He wants for you, what you're praying for. So when you write down those 2 things, don't think small, think big. You know, even if you end up with something small, I think you'll still be super grateful and you'll be ready for it. And so I want you to pray big, pray expectantly. I have a koozie from the Well Studio that says dream big, pray bigger. That's what I want for us here. We're going to dream big, but we're going to pray bigger because we know that our God can do exceedingly and abundantly, right? Jennifer Fran was reminding me of that today. We were messaging and she was like, you know, I'm so glad you're doing this. And I'm like, I know, I can't believe it got so big. And she's like, why didn't you believe that? And I'm like, that's true. I should believe that. So believe that for yourself too. Don't be like me. Have big faith, not little faith. Big faith. Okay. Last thing. And I say this with love, you guys. So please know, but I want you to give grace, but not excuses. Okay. 30 days, like I said, is a long time. We're going to be together a long time. We're going to be doing things together a long time. We are going to be like a fun, unique, and amazing community in 30 days. And I know that that's going to happen. And I know that God's going to show up in a major way. But it happens when you commit, right? And so I want you to give yourself grace in moments when it just doesn't come together. Okay, but I don't want you to give yourself excuses to get out. I want you to have reasons, but not excuses. So do that. Give yourself grace, but not an excuse to not do it. That's why I'm trying to set you up for success with like a buddy and scheduling time and giving yourself specifics to track and look at. I want you to be kind to yourself and to your soul because there are days when it just doesn't come together. And maybe you don't have time to read out of the book and you can only manage a couple of breath prayers and that is it, and that is okay. There is grace for that. But I do not want you to give yourself excuses to not connect with the Lord and to not be a part of an experience that can really change you. So I'm going to hold you to giving grace but not excuses. Okay. That's all I have. I have written a really intensely detailed post that I will post tomorrow, like afternoon, evening, and it will include all of your buddies. So again, there's still time to get a buddy if you need it. And it will have all the details about what's to come, what it'll look like. I've just kind of been, like I said, this is kind of a whirlwind and I'm not like totally prepared for what's going to happen, but I think that's what's so exciting is that God can show up in any way and we're totally ready for it. So know that that's coming, know your buddies are coming, everything is coming, so be ready for that tomorrow, and then we'll kick off on Thursday morning and you'll see how it'll go the rest of the time. So make sure that you read that post tomorrow because it'll be super important. I'm going to read some comments. Pray big and expectantly is perfect. Yes. Pray big, pray expectantly. Shirley, great things for you. Need amazing things to happen for business. Awesome. Make that one of your big things. Like, and even get specific. What are those amazing things? Grace but not excuses. Love that. I know. I don't know where that I've probably heard that before somewhere, and I wrote it down today and I was like, this is what this experience needs to be. So, okay. I think I'm about to run out of memory on my phone, so I won't be able to stream anymore because I just got a warning. But I wanted to check in, wanted to give you these tips for success, and wanted to let you know that I am already praying for you and for this whole experience and to be a good leader in this. And so I do ask that you pray those things for me too. Those are things that I really, really need as I go through this. Again, I don't like not having plans. I don't like doing a whirlwind, but this felt like just the right thing, and so I'm excited about it. Fear does set in sometimes, doubts does set in, so I just pray, I would just ask your prayers over me as we go through this, and that I am in your corner and praying for you too. So just know that. Surely we will definitely pray for your vendor show tomorrow night. Awesome.